So how's everyone doing tonight? So I'm so excited that it's finally my turn, which is verbatim what I told the girl that I lost my virginity to right before it happened. Which, you guys, is not a good way to start things off. And I still remember the look on her face because she was kind of like, well, I'm going to back out of this thing. And I'm kind of like, oh shit, I got to say some type of smooth line. I said, hey, I need this, you know? And she works for a charity, so I was like, I know she's going to be down. And it turns out she was. And then so I was like, she climbs on the ride of fun. And then so 3 seconds, sweaty seconds into it, you know, it's over. And then she's kind of looking at me like I'm all smilesies, and she's all frownsies. And then I'll never forget this. She goes to me, she goes, hey, when can I bail ski? And I'm all like, hey, you know, I mean, and like a gentleman, I unlocked the restroom door, you know, to let her out. And then so that kind of scarred me a little bit. I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, hey, you know, I'm not the Latin lover that everyone kind of thought I might be, you know? And so I thought to myself, I'm like, you know, I'm going to lobby this for a little bit. I'm going to sit on the bench, you know, and wait till I'm married. And then so it turns out I get married. I'm still kind of a little scarred. So I'm like, no, I'm going to wait until retirement, you know? And all my friends are like, whoa, how late are you talking about? Are you talking like 65, like so you can make it rain like Social Security money? And I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe I will wait until retirement. Because I've been seeing some commercials that say you just got to take a pill and you're going to be a stallion in the sack. And I hopefully you guys know which commercials I'm talking about. It's a little something called Cialis. You guys know about Cialis? So it's the male enhancement drug, which the more medical term is boner pills for the elderly. And so the commercials are just so nice because they're so lighthearted. Kind of like really whimsical, like an Olive Garden commercial, you know what I mean? But there's more of an edge to it. So I'll walk you through some of these scenarios, because they always get like kind of these hot scenarios, like it'll be like Grandma and Grandpa shopping for like windsuits or something like that. And you know, it's like Gramps is doing like the stretch, he's doing like the big groin stretch, and they're like cutting right into the crotch. He doesn't have like the 9-inch lightning rod yet, but it's kind of like halfway there. And then, or maybe you get like Gramps just like ripping off like the Velcro of his new kicks that he bought. And then Grandma, she's turned on. She's just like, oh my God. She takes out the dentures. And the guy's like, oh my God. But then they kind of cut it off, and you're kind of like, your mind kind of wonders, what's next? What's on deck? You know? And you know what's on deck, right? It's the hot, sweaty, filthy, back alley dumpster sex that's about to go down with Cialis. And they should say that right on the box. Like, that should be guaranteed, back alley dumpster sex. Because that's what everybody wants. But then, and then you guys know, I know this guy knows, at the end of the commercial, you get the guy, the two in the bathtubs. But they're separate. That's not romantic. Separated? I mean, come on. And you know what? You know why, right? It's because somebody took it a little too far. You know what I mean? It's like, and they don't want to look each other in the eye. They're always looking at like the mountains and everything like that. And it's like somebody forgot a sex word, or you know, somebody put it in a hole that they weren't supposed to. We've all been there, front row. You know what I mean? And so it's funny because, and, you know, my best guess is it's the person with a 9-hour erection. That's probably the culprit. That's a safe bet. I would bet that any day. But then you gotta think, all right, how is Cialis gonna up the ante for the Super Bowl commercials? Because, you know, football season, I'm wearing my fantasy football tee. Any fantasy football fans out there? So, like, how are they gonna up the ante? And you guessed it, role play, sexy role play action. And you think, what's gonna be the role play that sets it apart from everything? You gotta do throwback. Throwback's hot right now, especially like super throwback, like when they were born throwback, or when they were still thinking. So dial it back to like 1910 maybe, you know what I mean? And you got Granny just like, you know, churning the butter, you know? And then you got Gramps, he's kind of back here, kind of like, you know, peeping Tom action, kind of like, hey, all right, you know what I mean? And then he pops the Cialis, and then fast forward, they'll show you it's some hot, sweaty, under the covers Dutch oven sections there. And then if they really didn't want to up the ante, then you got like maybe some like Cleveland steamer action maybe. Or maybe this is a brand new thing. It's going around the whole town, especially in West Ashley. It's the Beirut blowout. You guys know about that? So you got that under the covers. Screw the bathtubs. You're not going to clean that off. they gotta get some cross-branding, maybe like some utility companies to like get some power washers to hose off these freaks.